Tell me what we learned in the yesterday's class. Yes. What we learned in our yesterday's class.
Ma'am, about vector, scalar.
And then what is a vector? What is a scalar after that? Position vector or radius vector. Next, displacement vector or distance vector. After that, vector multiplication, right?
Yes, ma'am, dot product.
Yeah, dot product we learn. Now all of you understood dot product and the properties of dot product. It is satisfying commutative property, and if the two vectors are perpendicular, then the dot product is 0. If two vectors are parallel, then the dot product is the multiplication of their magnitudes. If two vectors are antiparallel, then the dot product is product of their magnitudes with negative sign. Those are the four properties we learned. And one more thing is means ax into ax is equal to 1 means 1 and ax into ay is equal to 0, right? So now once we learn dot product for scalar product, next one is means vector multiplication is done by two methods. One is dot product, another one is cross product. Dot product already we learned. Now we are going to learn about cross product, right? So Esma. So next one is cross product, right? So how to calculate the cross product between two vectors? So assume two vectors a bar. I mean, I will write the heading. Cross product, okay. Then assume two vectors a bar and b bar. These are the two vectors. So cross product representation is actually dot product. How we represented a dot b bar, a bar dot b bar, right? ఇదే నిన్న చెప్పింది క్లాస్లో. ఏమని చెప్పా? 5 minutes I will give grace period. Now cross product is represented with a bar multiplication symbol, a bar cross b bar. This is the notation of cross product. A bar cross b bar is represented as same as dot product only. How we represented dot product? A bar dot b bar is equal to mod of a bar into mod of b bar. Mod means it gives the absolute value, that is magnitude. You can also represent this is a into b. Simply ab you can represent because a bar modulus value is a scalar value. Scalar is represented simply with a, and modulus of b bar is also a scalar value, so you can represent ab. Simply a bar dot b bar is equal to ab cos theta angle of AB, right? Cos theta AB. Here A bar dot B bar into angle also you have to write, right? Cos theta AB. This is the formula for dot product. Similar to this dot product, cross product, I'm going to write the formula. What is cross product is magnitude values or asterisk A bar into B bar, and in place of this cos theta we consider, in the case of cross product, it is represented with sine theta. It is represented with sine theta AB. And one more thing is, A n bar. You have a n cap or a n bar. What is a n? What is a n? Here we consider the x and y z axis is what?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma.
ma'am, your voice is so less, ma'am. అంటే వినిపించట్లేదు మ్యామ్ గట్టిగా.
Is screen also not visible, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Screen is also not visible.
I forgot to share the screen. Why? I mean, speakers or sound is full only. Now you can see screen is visible, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Now see here. So cross product we are calculating. So before going to calculate the cross product, first see the dot product. How is calculated dot product? We construct two vectors. Vector notation is A bar represents a vector, both direction and magnitude. So A bar dot B bar is equal to mod A bar into mod B bar cos theta AB. So that is represented as mod A bar is a scalar because magnitude is always a scalar. I can represent simply A, and mod B bar is also a scalar. I can represent simply B, AB cos theta. That is the dot product representation. Now if you go to cross product, A bar cross B bar is equal to mod A bar mod B bar as it is. In place of cos angle, the cross product is given by sine. Sine of theta AB into AN. Here we consider the axis like x, y and z. So the direction parameter or unit vector of this one is AX, right? The unit vector of this one is AY and the unit vector of Z direction is given by AZ. The unit vector of Z direction is given by AZ. So A simply instead of representing this represents the direction. So I am going to represent in place of AX, AY, AZ as simply AX cap, AY cap and AZ cap. Okay, so here I am representing, this is the formula for cross product. Now, what is A bar magnitude value? That is represented by a scalar. So I can simply write it as A. Magnitude of B bar is given by simply B. And sine theta AB, I can write it as same as sine theta AB means which is the angle between A bar and B bar. If I am considering vector A bar like this and vector B bar like this, vector B bar like this, then the resultant vector A bar cross B bar is given by like this. Okay, now sine theta AB, the angle between these two is theta. Sine theta AB is the angle between these two. And what is the AN? What is the AN cap? Means the AN is a perpendicular plane of the vectors A and B. It represents the perpendicular plane or axis of the vectors A and B. Vectors A and B. Unit vector normal to both the planes A and B. For example, if I am considering here XYZ axis, right? If I am considering along the x-axis as A bar and along the y-axis as B bar, then the angle between these two is given by theta, theta AB. So AB into sine theta AB, A bar cross B bar is formula is this one, right? AN. What I am saying, AN is the unit vector normal to the or perpendicular to the plane of the given two vectors. Plane of the given two vectors. What are the given two vectors? A bar and B bar. A bar is along x-axis and B bar is along y-axis. So what is the perpendicular axis for this? This is x and this is y, right? So perpendicular axis means for these two. For this plane, what is the perpendicular axis? Z. Getting ma? Yes, ma. Are you getting my point? చెప్పండి తల్లి, అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So perpendicular or normal to the plane of the two vectors. So if x is a is taken along the x-axis and b is taken along the y-axis, and the perpendicular to this xy axis is z, mutually perpendicular. So mutually perpendicular is z. So I can write it as ab sine theta ab into an bar. Okay. So the cross product between, if the vector A is given as AX along the x-axis, its magnitude is AX and direction is given by AX cap, plus AY along the y direction, the component magnitude value is given by AY and direction component is AY cap, plus AZ. AZ is the magnitude component along Z direction and AZ is the direction component. This is the A bar given. Similarly, B bar, I am considering another component or another point. For example, this is A, point A, and some another point is placed here, A and B. Okay. Now, what is the magnitude components? The magnitude components are given as Bx, By, and Bz. Magnitude components are Bx, By, and Bz. What about the direction components? Here we consider same plane, right? So the direction components are not going to change. Ax cap plus Ay cap plus Az cap. These are the direction components. Now, if two vectors are given in a cylinder, I mean in this XYZ coordinate system, then their A bar cross B bar is calculated like, then their A bar cross B bar is calculated as A bar cross B bar is equal to, here it is calculated by using the det component or matrix representation. This is AX cap, direction components first you have to represent AY cap and AZ cap, the direction parameters. Then write the magnitudes of two vectors AX, AY and AZ. Next here it is BX, BY and BZ. Bx, by and bz. This is the formula for calculating the cross product of any two vectors. The cross product of any two vectors can be calculated by using this formula. Clear, ma? Yes. Now we'll see what are the different properties of this cross product. What are the different properties of the cross product? As we know that the properties of dot product are, first one is commutative. It is not a commutative. First property is properties of cross product are, that is A bar cross B bar is not equal to B bar cross A bar. But what happens? What is the relation? B bar cross A bar, it is minus of, so it is anti-commutative. A bar cross B bar is equal to minus B bar cross A bar, minus B bar cross A bar. You can verify by using this formula. How to calculate the det value? A bar cross B bar is equal to det of this. This is the formula, right? Now how to calculate? Ax cap into Ay Bz minus Az By, right? If you modify this, I mean, if you calculate B bar cross A bar, then you'll get the relation between these two as A bar cross B bar is equal to minus B bar cross A bar. This is considered as anti-commutative. This is anti-commutative. It is satisfying anti-commutative property. And second one I am considering a distributive property. Distributive property means A bar cross B bar plus C bar, three vectors I am considering. Then the distributive property of this one is A bar cross B bar plus A bar cross C bar. It is satisfying this distributive property. And third one is associative property. It is not going to satisfy the associative property. So there is no associative property for cross product. And next one is what we have to consider is if the two vectors are parallel to one another. In the previous case we saw this, right? Parallel to one another, perpendicular. If two vectors are parallel, then what is the angle between those two?
0.
0. So theta AB, if I consider two vectors, so A and B, then the angle is 0. Then what is the cross product? Can you tell me? A bar cross B bar. What is the formula for A bar cross B bar, ma? AB into sine theta AB into AN bar, right? Or AN cap. So what is the angle given? Angle is given as 0. As angle is 0, what is sine 0 value? What is
Sine
that?
1, ma'am.
Sine 0.
0, ma'am.
0.
0 only.
Yes. If the two vectors are parallel to one another, then their cross product is 0. If the two vectors are parallel to one another, their cross product is 0. If they are anti-parallel also, like 180 degrees also, what happens? Sine 180 degrees is also 0. Whether they are parallel or anti-parallel, their value, the cross product value is 0. Yes? Now, if they are perpendicular, if their two vectors are perpendicular, then what is theta value? 90 degrees. If the two vectors are perpendicular, then the theta angle between those two is 90 degrees. Then what is the cross product of those two? A bar cross B bar, what is the value? Just substitute in the formula and tell me. AB into AN cap, right? So sine theta, sine 90 is 1. So if they are perpendicular, then it gives the value as its magnitude, product of its magnitude into unit vector opposite to their plane. Got it, ma? Yes, ma. Clear? Parallel means 0, perpendicular means product of their magnitudes into the unit vector perpendicular to their axis, their path. అర్థమైందా? ఇది అర్థమైతే నాకు ఇంకొక పాయింట్ కావాలి దీని నుంచి. So what is that I want is unit vectors I am writing. Ax cap cross product of Ax cap. What is it? Can you tell me what is the value of this? F naught. F naught. Are you there? F naught. ఇప్పుడే వెళ్ళిపోయాడు ఆయన. క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే వెళ్ళిపోండి. H8 absent. H6 Yes, ma. Tell me what is the cross product of these two?
0, ma'am.
0. Why? Because? ఎందుకు? What is AX? Unit vector along the x direction. And another one is AX. AX is also unit vector along the x direction. So along the x direction is there parallel. Parallel means what is the theta value? 0. If theta is 0, what is the cross product of that? 0. Right? So if they are parallel together, then the cross product is 0. Now, what I want is AX cap cross product of AY cap. Can you tell me what is the answer for this?
Ma'am, this is perpendicular, ma'am.
Perpendicular. What is the answer I'm asking?
1,
One.
1.
Is it 1? In the dot product case, it is 1, definitely. But in the cross product case,
It is
Minus
zero.
AZ. AZ.
AZ, very good. Why? Because magnitude is 1 only. Definitely, magnitude is 1. Magnitude is 1, but what is here we have? AN cap. AN cap means it is the plane perpendicular to the or axis perpendicular to the plane of the given two vectors. So AX is given, AY is given. What is the perpendicular plane for this? AZ. So that's why AZ cap. Next one. AY cap perpendicular to AZ cap. Then what is the answer? Y and Z తీసుకున్నాం దానికి perpendicular ఏంటి? AX cap. Right. Similarly, AZ cap perpendicular to AX cap, that is equal to AY cap. Okay. This is about cross product and their properties. Cross product and their properties. Here I can represent one thing like if you are going in a clockwise direction, here I am representing AX cap, AY cap, and AZ cap. See, if I am moving in this clockwise direction, their cross product is, as you said, AZ, right? From AY to AZ, if I am moving clockwise, then their cross product is AZ cap. Here from AZ to AX, if I am moving clockwise, then their cross product is AY cap, right? If I am moving in the opposite direction, now see here difference I am writing. Here AX cap, you have to learn this one very carefully, because if you learn these basics, then only you can do applications of this. ఇది అసలు మీకు సబ్జెక్ట్లో లేదు, బట్ ఐఎమ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ వై బికాస్ ఇది లేకపోతే మీకు అసలు ఏం రాదు, అందుకే చెప్తున్నా, వినండి. Okay, AX, AY, JZ. I'm taking in a opposite direction, not in a clockwise direction. I'm taking in a anti-clockwise. So clockwise means you got AZ. Avuna? So what is the commutative property? Is it satisfying the commutative or anti-commutative? Yes, ma.
Anti-commutative.
Anti-commutative. Then what happens? AX cross AY and ఏమొచ్చింది మనకి? AZ. Then what is AY cross AX?
Minus AZ.
Very good. Minus AZ cap. అన్నీ అంతే. Minus AY cap. Only 2 members వింటున్నారు క్లాస్, అంతేనా? D1 మహేశ్వరి అండ్ C4. అంతే, ఇంకెవ్వరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు క్లాస్లో. This is the cross product representation, circular representation of the cross product. Any doubts in this cross product and their properties? Yes? Yes, ma.
No, ma'am.
Clear, right? Okay. Now we will go with coordinate systems. So what are the different ఇప్పుడు వరకు మనకు తెలిసిన కోఆర్డినేట్ సిస్టమ్ ఏంటి? XYZ, అది ఒకటే తెలుసు మనకి. బట్ వీ హ్యావ్ 3 కోఆర్డినేట్ సిస్టమ్స్. నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఎస్మా ఎస్ someone is saying like okay. We have three coordinate systems. They are a rectangular coordinate system, or Cartesian. Another name of this coordinate system is rectangular or Cartesian. And second one is cylindrical coordinate system. Cylindrical coordinate system. And third one is spherical coordinate system. Third one is spherical coordinate system. These are the three coordinate systems we have. Now these three coordinate systems we are going to use in our subject electromagnetic waves. Means if the signal is transmitting in the free space, how it is traveling. If the coordinate system is rectangular, if the coordinate system is cylindrical, if the coordinate system is spherical. And how to measure the distance between two vectors, and how to measure the distance between two vectors in the case of cylindrical, in the case of spherical, in the case of rectangular. One we have to measure the distance, another you have to measure the area, another you have to measure the volume. These three parameters we are going to see how we are going to calculate in rectangular coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. Yes. Shall we do one or two problems, then we will go with coordinate systems? One or two problems, Shadama? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So one problem I am going to give. First one. So previously what we learned, up to that we will do, then we will go with coordinate systems. So what is the first problem is, given a bar, the vector a bar is given as 10 ax cap minus 4 ay cap plus 6 az cap. This is the vector A. And second component.
వాయిస్ క్లియర్ గా లేదు, మీ గొంతులో కిస్కిస్ ఉంది. వాటి మీద రెసిపిలలు తీసుకొని ఇచ్చిపోవడండి మేము.
Next, the vector B bar is given as 2ax cap plus ay cap. These are the two vectors given. Now the first what we have to find out is, what is the component of a bar? A bar. What is the component of vector a bar along ay direction? ఏం చెప్తారు? What is the component parameter along ay direction అంటే? Find the component of a bar along ay direction.
-4.
-4. Very good. The answer is -4. Its magnitude or its component along the y direction is -4. And second problem given in this one is, find the magnitude of 3a bar minus b bar. ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తారు చెప్పండి? Find the magnitude of 3a bar minus b bar. First మనం ఏం చేయాలి? First ఏం చేయాలన్నా? Multiply a with 3 times, right? 3a bar you'll get. Then subtract it from the b bar. So what you'll get after subtraction? What is the answer you're getting? 30 minus 2, right? So 28 ax bar minus 12. 12 plus 1 అంటే ఎంత వస్తుంది? minus 11 ay bar plus 3 6 are 18. There is no z component in b, right? So you'll get az cap. This is 3a bar minus b bar. Manaku but em kavali? Magnitude. If you want to calculate magnitude, what you have to do? Under root. ఏంటి magnitude ఎలా calculate చేస్తాం? Only components you have to do the square. under root 28 square plus minus 11 square plus 18 square. This gives the magnitude value. Got it, ma? Yes, ma. Yes, are you having any doubt? ఇక్కడ మనం మైనస్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా, ఇది కూడా మైనస్ అంటే ఇక్కడ 13 వస్తుంది మేబీ. ఇట్స్ నాట్ 11, ఇట్ ఈస్ 13. ఓకేనా? Are you having any doubts in calculating magnitude of the signal or vectors? Are you doing this problem or simply sitting ideally? Next one is, this is different question. Find the unit vector along a bar plus 2b bar. Unit vector along a bar plus 2b bar. So unit vector ఎలా calculate చేయాలి అది ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం మనం. First we have to calculate a bar plus 2b bar. So multiply this with 2 times and add together. So 10 plus 4, 40 ax bar minus 2ay bar or ay cap plus 6az cap. This is a bar plus 2b bar, right? Excuse me. Now what you have to find out? Unit vector. So what is the formula for calculating the unit vector? Unit vector in this direction is calculated as, first write the vector, given vector as is b bar divided by its magnitude gives the unit vector. Divided by its magnitude gives the unit vector. To calculate the unit vector, the formula is this. Whatever the given vector, first find out that, then the divided by its magnitude gives the unit vector. So 14, this whatever we got, this divided by under root of its magnitude. Magnitude is 14 square plus minus 2 whole square plus 6 whole square. If you simplify, you'll get a unit vector. Yes, ma? Are you getting my point? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So like this, you can do many problems. But how to calculate, simply I'm giving one example. Next one. So now we will see the coordinate systems individually. What is rectangular, what is cylindrical, and what is spherical coordinate system. First one is rectangular coordinate system, right? Cartesian or a rectangular coordinate system. So the rectangular coordinate system axis, it contains axis, 3 axes, right? So what are those 3 axes? The axes are given by x, y, and z. Rectangular coordinate system axes are, it contains 3 axes. One is x, another one is y, another one is z. All are mutually perpendicular to one another. All are mutually perpendicular to one another. This, we know about this coordinate system, right? Now, if any vector is present in this coordinate system, for example, I am considering A. I am considering A in this coordinate system. Then how to represent that A bar in this coordinate system? If the component of x-axis is AX and its direction is AX cap. If the component along the y direction is AY, then it means, here I am going to represent it as AX, AY, and AZ. These are the measures or the location points from XYZ axis. So AX, AY into AY cap plus AZ into Small az gives the direction az cap. This is the vector representation. And xyz, all these are, is there any limit for xyz? What range values ఎంత నుంచి ఎక్కడి వరకు ఉంటాయి? The range of x is ఒక లిమిట్ ఏమన్నా ఉంది ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకే ఉండాలని x కి? The xyz, there is no limit values. The range is given as minus infinity less than or equal to x comma y comma z less than or equal to plus infinity. The range of the variables is given from minus infinity to plus infinity, right? Now here if you are coming to length calculation in this direction, here we are coming to length calculation. So rectangular coordinate system, a Cartesian coordinate system, example is cube or a cuboid. Here I am going to consider a simple cube in the xyz direction here in this location. It consists of a vector inside, and this component is the x-axis component, and this represents the z-axis component, and this represents the y-axis component. I'm considering a cube of very small size. So then the length of this cube in the x direction is dx. The length of this cube along the y direction is dy, and along the z direction the length of this cube is given as dz. Clear? I'm considering a small size cube. dx, dy and dz are the length values of that cube. Along the x direction it is dx, along the y direction it is dy, and along the z direction it is dz. Now how to find out the total length of that cube? How to find out the total length of the cube, a differential length? It is a very small size, right? So along the x-axis, what is the length value? I can write along the x-axis in the x direction, length small size means I can say it as length as dl. Only if I am calculating along the x-axis, the length is given as dx. Length value is dx. And if you want to represent the direction, then it is dx ax cap. Along the y-axis, what is the length value? dl is equal to dy times ay cap. Along the z-axis, what is the length value? Length is equal to dz times az cap. Now if I want to find out the total length value of this vector A, the total length of vector A, total length of vector A is represented as dl bar. dl bar is equal to, how I am representing total length means, if you add all the direction components, then you will get total length of that vector ay cap plus dz az cap. This is the total length of the vector A, which is given in a rectangular coordinate system. Clear? Length, how to calculate the length value? Now, here I calculated the length of a differential length. You can say it as a differential length. Why I am saying differential means we consider very small particle. Next one is a differential surface area. I am considering next one as differential surface area. Surface area I am going to calculate. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. ఓకే. నా హౌ టు లెంత్ అంటే ఏంటి మనకి యాక్చువల్లీ ద పాత్ కార్ ఐ మీన్ ట్రావెల్డ్ బై వన్ లైన్. ఈ లైన్ యొక్క టోటల్ సైజ్ మెజర్ చేసేది లెంత్, అంతేనా? నా వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ఏరియా. ఏరియా అంటే ఏంటి? ఒక డివైస్ ఇచ్చారు. హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద ఏరియా ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్? లెంత్ ఇంటూ బ్రెడ్త్, రైట్? Surface area, differential surface area means for small particle, if I am calculating, I can say it as a differential. But area means if you can measure area of any device or any object, then it is length into breadth, right? So the formula for calculating the differential area is ds bar is equal to ds is its magnitude and an cap. See the difference between length and area. Area is given as ds into an cap. What is ds means here? The length into breadth value, the measure of length into breadth value. For example, if I am considering a rectangular coordinate system, now see how I am considering three different faces. I am considering this is I considered in the rectangular coordinate system xyz. In this total cube, we have 6 faces, right? So out of 6 faces, I am considering one face. That face is, here it is dx and this is dz. Then how to calculate the area of this one? Area of this is equal to, ela vastadi nana? Length is dx and breadth is dz, or ఇది మీకు బ్రెడ్త్ అనుకుంటే ఇది లెంత్, మీ ఇష్టం ఎలా అయినా అనుకోండి, dx into dz. What is here? an cap. What is an cap here? మనం dx dz డైరెక్షన్ లో తీసుకుంటే what is the perpendicular for this? ds and dz, what is the perpendicular component? ay component cap. This is the area in the given direction. Now same thing I am going to calculate one more thing, like the plane what I am considering is, now here it is dy and it is dz. Now what is the area, can you tell me? Surface area dz into dy, and in which direction it is? Perpendicular direction is ax. One more you can consider in a opposite direction, like I am going to consider the another face that is considered in the xy axis. Till now we consider this as yz axis, right? It is dy అయిపోయింది xy, so dx and dy. Then what is the area of this one? ds bar is equal to dx dy into az cap. This is the area of a rectangular coordinate system. If the face is along xz direction, then the length components of those two in the x and z direction into its axis perpendicular to the plane ay cap. If the given is yz, then ax component you will get, ax cap you will get. If it is given in xy direction, then az component you will get. So this is the measure of surface area. And what is the next one? One is length, another one is area, another one I told you like volume, differential volume. So volume ante ela calculate chestam? Area ante side into length, length into breadth calculate chestam. How to measure the area, volume? Yes, ma. How to measure the volume? dv. dv is equal to length
Height.
height also. So I can say it as dx dy and dz. If length is dx and height is dz, then breadth is dy. So dx, dy, dz. This is the formula for calculating the volume of a cube given in the rectangular coordinate system. Is 3 understood, ma, all of you? Yes? Is it clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one is cylindrical coordinate system. Do you have any idea about cylindrical coordinate system? The example for cylindrical coordinate system is a cylinder. Okay. Now how it is means, previously we consider rectangular coordinate system as x, y, z as the major directions. X, y and z. This is for rectangular coordinate system. For cylindrical coordinate system, the parameters are, or the axis is not x, y, z. It is the parameters of a rectangle cylindrical coordinate system are rho, pi and z. Rho, pi and z. Where rho is along the, we are going to consider the radius parameter. Rho is a radius parameter or distance parameter. And pi is the used to measure the angle, azimuthal angle means in what direction. This represents the pi value. This represents the pi value. And rho is along this direction. Rho is along this direction and z is asterisk. Now if you consider this one, cylindrical coordinate system and a rectangular coordinate system, I am going to represent here a cylinder shape. For example, like this I am considering. Okay. This is the rho value and pi is in the anti-clockwise direction we are considering from the x only towards z we are moving and z is asterisk. This point is given by z, the length of that one cylinder we are considering, and this is y and this point is x. Means what is the height along the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, it is given like this. And this is the height of this cylinder. So the height of the cylinder is given as, means cylinder ante మనం ఎలా తీసుకుంటాం నాన్న, like this we are going to take, right? So simply I am considering in the normal format. Now, so I want to find out the relation between x, y, z and rho, pi, z. Z is as it is. Only we have to calculate x in terms of rho and y in terms of rho. Now see here, ma. Consider this is a triangle. Can I assume it as a triangle? Anko Chadini? Can I assume it as a triangle? Yes, ma. Unnara lera?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, so if you know the angle and if you know one side of this one, Then what is the other side of it one? I mean that we can say one side is given. For example, if you assume a right angle triangle, for example, I'm explaining. This is rho. Then what is it and what is this? If the angle is here. Opposite is rho sine theta. Adjacent is
Rho
rho
cos
cos theta. So with respect to this, can you tell me? This is the angle and this is rho. This side is rho. What is this side?
rho sin theta.
Rho sine theta.
Sin phi.
Sine pi. Okay. What is this? Rho cos pi, right? Yes? Now, this distance, if you observe, this distance is similar to, is equal to this distance or not? Yes? So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, what is this point? This length is, along the y direction, the length is given as y. So, y is equal to rho sine pi. Similarly, what is the length in x direction with respect to rho and pi? I am asking. X is equal to rho cos pi and z is equal to z. It gives the relation between cylindrical parameters coordinates and rectangular coordinates. Rectangular coordinates x, y, z in terms of cylindrical coordinates is given as rho cos pi, rho sin pi and z. If you want to calculate, this is cylindrical in terms of rectangular. Now I want to calculate rectangular parameters in terms of cylindrical parameters in terms of rectangular. Then what is the rho value? దీని నుంచి రో ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయొచ్చు నేను ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ అండ్ వై చేయొచ్చా rho is equal to under root x square plus y square. Another one I want pi. Pi is equal to tan inverse y by x and z is equal to z. This gives the relation between cylindrical and rectangular system parameters. Cylindrical, rectangular parameters. Okay? In a cylindrical coordinate system, రేపు చెప్తాం ఇవి వరకు కాపీ చేసుకోండి tomorrow you will see how to measure the length, surface area and volume in the cylindrical and also next one is spherical. అవి రెండు నెక్స్ట్ వేట్ క్లాస్లో చూద్దాం. Any doubts till now, ma?
No, ma'am.
ఓకే అటెండెన్స్ కోసం జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారు గబ్బు మొహాలు ఏం చేయాలి వాళ్ళని ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ అంటారు మళ్ళీ ఇంతే చెప్తారు వేరే సబ్జెక్ట్స్లోకి వచ్చినప్పుడు మాకు ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ జరిగాయి మేడం ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ జరిగినంత మాత్రాన ప్రాబ్లం కాదు మీరు వింటాం ప్రాబ్లం ఏదైనా ఒకటే క్లాస్ అయినా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ అయినా ఏదైనా ఒకటే respond your attendance. C1.
Present, ma'am.
Those who respond, you can leave, no problem. Okay. C2.
Present, ma'am.
3. C3. Absent. 4.
Present, ma'am.
5. 6.
Present, ma'am.
7. 8.
Present, ma'am.
9.
Present, ma'am.
D naught.
Present, ma'am.
1.
Present, ma'am.
2.
Present, ma'am.
3.
Present, ma'am.
4.
Present, ma'am.
5.
Present, ma'am.
6. 7. 8. 9.
Present, madam.
E naught. 1.
Present, ma'am.
2. E2 absent. E3,
Present, ma'am.
4,
Present, ma'am.
5, 6,
Present, ma'am.
7, E7 absent.
Present,
8,
ma'am. Present, ma'am.
E8, 9,
Present, ma'am.
F0,
Present, ma'am.
1,
Present, ma'am.
2, 3, 4,
Present, ma'am.
5, 6, 7,
Present, ma'am.
8, 9,
Present, ma'am.
G0,
Present, ma'am.
1, 2,
Present, ma'am.
3, 4,
Present, ma'am.
5,
Present, ma'am.
6,
Present, ma'am.
7,
Present, ma'am.
8, 9, G9 absent. H0,
Present, ma'am.
1,
Present, ma'am.
2, 3, H2 absent, H3 present, H4,
Present, ma'am.
5, H5 absent, 6, 7,
Present, ma'am.
8, H8 absent, 9,
Present, ma'am.
J0,
Present, ma'am.
lateral 13,
Present, ma'am.
14,
Present, ma'am.
15, 15, 16,
Present, ma'am.
17, 18. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. You can leave.